Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis. With me today is Jiunn and John McTavish. How you guys doing today?
What up?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
So today we are talking about the La Unica Natural Number 400. The cigar is a Rothschild 4.5 by 50. Comes out of the Tabacalera A Fuente factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrappers Connecticut Shade, binder and filler, both from the DR. Price point is $6.45, and this cigar was released way back in 1986. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Oh, glad I'm smoking cigars in 2020 instead. Well, not this particular one. Anyways, I wasn't smoking cigars back then. I thought it was average. It was very approachable, easygoing flavors. Hay, generic creaminess, bread, and this cardboard that I really hate that flavor. I hate like when a cigar tastes like papery, like burning paper, cardboard, construction paper, any of those kind of papery kind of notes.
Mhm.
I really don't like. And this one had it from the get go. And by the time even especially got to like that final third or so, it's like that cardboard aspect as well as there's like a bitter finish to it. And it was a miss for me. It has some really good construction, which is nice, but this is not something I would revisit.
How about you, John? What were your overall thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you, knowing that it came out in the 86 explains so much for me because when I was smoking it, first of all, my overall experience was quite subpar, aggressively subpar. And as I was smoking it, I was reminded of when companies used to put out generic Dominican bundle cigars, and it just about turned me off cigars entirely because that's what I thought a lot of cigars tasted like. Um, and I just the whole profile of it just seemed really lazy to me. And the way that June described it with the paper and the hay and the cardboard, I mean that's totally it. It's just not premium cigar flavors that I typically would expect. And unfortunately, while the first third was average, the overall flavor profile just declined aggressively. And I commented that I tried to be polite, but to be frank, if we weren't reviewing the cigar, I would have pitched it in the last third because it was approaching the point of unsmokable, and it was a bit of a slog to get through. So, which is really unfortunate because I think JC Newman makes a lot of really good cigars. This just for me is definitely not one of them. And I had really, really poor burn performance. Touch ups, relights, and the cap actually cracked, which I haven't had happen in ages. So that obviously didn't lead to a pretty good burn experience. How was your overall experience, Aaron?
Yeah, I thought the cigar had a kind of average, kind of a Connecticut shade, flavor profile. Had some, bitterness in the final third, which it's kind of a normal flavor that you can get from some Connecticut shade. So it showed off, but I didn't think it was too much of a deterrent when I was smoking the cigar. It's a long-standing blend. John, you were mentioning kind of before we got started that there was a lot of blends I think that kind of had this a lot of Dominican shade cigars that had this kind of a profile back in the day, and I think this is just kind of an extension of that. Being from when this was released. Um, I think I'm pretty sure there's a market for this. Like there's a lot of guys that kind of grew up on smoking this stuff, and they probably still smoke it to this day. So if they haven't tried this, but they've smoked other, Dominican-based Connecticut shade blends, they might find something that like here price points, fairly attractive. Probably not something I would return to, but maybe in the morning with some coffee, it would work out. I'd be open for doing it, as, to trying that. But overall, it's probably not something I'm going to really be returning to. I'm more interested in some more dynamic flavors and things like that. That more some of the cigars from the last 5 to 10 years on the Connecticut shade market have kind of brought out. So, getting the scores, start at the top with June at 5.40. I gave it a 5.15, and John gave it a 3.78. So, how'd that 5.4 match up for you, June?
Um, it's yeah, it's fine. It's total average taste, but mine had great construction. So you know, if it didn't have it as good of a construction, I'll be right in line with kind of where you'll be at, Aaron. So
Yeah. Yeah, my 5.15 matches up well. I mean, it was slightly below average flavor profile throughout. Pretty good construction, not perfect, but nothing that I would consider an issue. Just normal, like slightly wavy burn, maybe a tighter draw than I prefer, something like that. But so that's what gets it right down to the low fives. All right, John, 3.78. How'd that match up for you?
I'll be playing the part of Seth Geis for this review cycle. Yeah, that matches up very closely. Unfortunately, like I said, it was a subpar experience, and then you throw in the subpar burn experience, and that's unfortunately a recipe for sub fours. This is not something I would be returning to. Ironically, I'm looking over my humidor right now, and I've got like 3 boxes of Brick House, which I'd happily smoke.
Yeah.
I really enjoy those. So, as you say, I think that there's a market for these cigars, and certainly there's an attractive price, and the brand's been around for a very long time. So obviously they're not doing poorly.
Yep. Yep. Any other final thoughts on this from you guys?
I mean, it's been selling since the mid '80s. It's got to be. There's a reason why they're still making it, I imagine, right? So
I'm glad that I was not smoking cigars in the mid '80s. I don't think I would have
seriously.
made it out.
Yeah.
I would just smoke ganja back then.
The quality wasn't very good back then either.
No, the quality was terrible.
Just calling out brownish shit.
Yeah. All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. Check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalates.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.